Wow. What a happy guy. What a big purring fella. Thank you for helping me warm up the audience. They want a closer look at you, Moch. Happy Diwali from India. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes.
Happy Diwali, everybody. Say good morning, Moch. I release you. Someone else would like to say good morning. Let's arrange the Miles cam a bit better. Luckily, it's portable now. Who's your good babies? Oh, we also have a Catilia in here. Can I even get the camera? Hello. Is everybody here for the live stream? Oh my goodness, sorry it's so shaky. This guy needs attention. Did you just whack Mochi in the face with your big Miles face?
No, Mochi's out here.
Oh, okay. Well. All right. Catilia, would you like to be a lap cat? Wow. My goodness. I feel like Saint Francis of Assisi. What am I right now? Is it Dr. Doolittle? Holy cow. I am just the animal whisperer today. I usually only have like one of these guys for some pet tax for you, but all right. Good morning, chat. Good morning, early gang. As I always say, the early gang gets the pet tax. Today, you got quite a bit of pet tax. I'm trying to scoot forward gently without running over Catilia's tail. Cool. That was awesome. Well, hey, listen, let's just get right into the typical song and dance. Welcome back to another Dadvocate Live. I am your host, Lauren, and we try to make this an audio-only friendly stream, much to be enjoyed similar to a podcast. So whether you're walking your dog, lifting weights at the gym, driving your car, you should be able to still enjoy this stream. We'll be reacting to some visual cues, but I will do my best to verbally describe everything going on so you don't feel like you have to stare at the screen. If I really need you to stare at the screen, if there's absolutely something I just don't think you should miss, I'll let you know. For example, one thing I definitely don't want you to miss is being acknowledged as one of the sponsors of our stream, because everyone who likes this stream is sponsoring the stream. Thank you. Thank you so much for the engagement, for sending us out into the algorithm so that the production quality and frequency of Dadvocate videos and streams may continue. We love to see it. This is also a stream where we typically talk about things like relationships, dating, the relationship specifically between men and women, trying to bridge that gap. We talk about co-parenting, parenting, fathers' rights, marriage, divorce, and all kinds of buffoonery and bungholery in between those things. If you're not watching live, feel free to just tap the forward 30 seconds button until you get to wherever you want to be in the stream. If you are watching live, feel free to take part in the live chat. I did notice we started getting our first super chats of the day, for example. I check the chat here and there, but the absolute best way to get my attention is through YouTube Super Chats, just because the way they itemize it for me is a lot easier for me to go back and check, even if I'm mid-story, mid-sentence, mid-thought. I can still go back and acknowledge them momentarily. So our first super chat of the day goes out to Chaos Shadow. So good to see you. Good morning. And thank you for the very generous super chat, by the way. Hey, Lauren, maybe you can help my friend out. Hi, Mochi. Long story short, her boyfriend told someone undeserving to shut the fuck up, and she's worried what it means since it caught her off guard. Okay, so I think I can understand the super chat correctly. Basically, your friend unfortunately had to witness her boyfriend be really mean for no reason to someone. And yeah, that's very alarming. Like, if I was out on a date with someone and I saw them be rude to the waitress, I would never want to date them again. They wouldn't get a second date. I think that's a really solid foundation to judge someone, because if someone who's trying to court you is nice to you, well, yeah, they're trying to flatter you. But if you're not nice to people who can't do anything for you, then you're not nice. Then you're not a nice person. And that's worth noting. If your friend wants a nice partner, I don't know if this guy is nice. Or kind. If you're one of those people who has a strong delineation between the two, it's like both in this situation. Neither nice nor kind, unfortunately. Now, maybe, benefit of the doubt, devil's avocado, devil's dadvocado. Maybe he was just having a really, really shitty day. And like, maybe if confronted, he will look back on that and be like, oh, dude, I felt so bad about that since I did it. Like, they did not deserve that, but it's too late now. I'll never run into them in the wild again to apologize. But like, you're right. I do need to be better and not take out on other people. There is a chance for that too. I'm not too black. I'm not like the first one to jump to, dump him! Dump them! That's why everybody's single. Zero, you missed nothing. We were just doing the general introductions and all that. Just got a quick super chat. But we do have a theme of the stream that we will get into. And today's theme of the stream is, did these creators deserve the hate? I think that this theme will also tie a little bit into a game we like to play on the stream called Is the Crash Out Warranted? I think it might marry a little bit into both games we like to play on these live streams. But I've got a couple for you just to get us started before we start getting into some other things. We have a mother creator who made a video with her son that a lot of people are judging her for. And we have a father creator who made a video that a lot of people are judging him for. And we will ask ourselves, do they deserve the hate, or is the comment section once again just being unhinged? You never know with the internet. It truly could, the door of these situations could swing either way. And many times it's a both situation. So without further ado, we'll get into the first situation, the mom video. Before we do, though, I need to explain two separate phenomenons that will be at play here. The first is the phenomenon of one of those boy moms. Some of you already know what I'm talking about. If you don't, let me explain. There is a trope of boy moms. It's not all boy moms, but there is a particular type of boy mom who is just a bit incestuous. We'll just say it. I mean, they really son-husband their kid to the darkest depths of the shadow realm. They make it a bit creepy. I think TJ might have something to say on this.
I think I saw the video you're about to
There's a bajillion. I was gonna reference one that's not even the one, but
okay.
Is this the face of the person? TJ gets a sneak peek.
No, it might be. But the video that I saw was like, it was someone's reaction to it. It was like a stitch to it. But it was like when your son suddenly starts looking too much like his dad, and it was like a song about like wanting you, and she like the whole video was her like doing this to the son, like pushing him away and being like, no. And she did it with the teenage son in the video.
My pearls have been clutched. Valid crash out.
I was like, this has to be. And then the more, like, the person was just doing the thing where you can, like, green screen yourself over the video. And they were just like, what is wrong?
That's one of those ones you don't even need to verbally respond
it's
to.
The guy
you just can stitch it with your face, and that'll just say it all. At least if you have, like, a face like mine that doesn't tell lies.
It's the guy who does Shit's Getting Weird Part Infinity videos. But
yeah, that's shit that's getting weird for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That
Serenaded Swan, you're so funny. I am not famous. I am, what's like a term that's like not quite like I'm viral occasionally. I think that's a more appropriate term, but I'm just a human who goes live sometimes. That occasionally people have free time to listen to.
It's your humility that people appreciate too, I'm sure.
But yeah, that was a great example of one of those boy moms.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I think literally the definition of famous is being recognized multiple times when we go out in public. But that's my 2 cents, just to sprinkle that a little bit on you.
Thank you. Y'all flatter me. So, yes, these boy moms, they can even times get competitive with their son's girlfriends. They'll often say things like, you'll never be able to replace his mom. He'll never love you like he loves his mom. Just like unnecessary weird behavior that makes the rest of us boy moms just go, oh no, we don't claim her. We don't claim that one. Actually, like a great example of this, another one that I had prepared for you is, you might remember this woman from a previous live stream.
For my son's first prom. I am so excited that this day is finally here. I cannot wait for y'all to see my dress. I have been planning this for a while. It is so cute. It's gonna be like the perfect mother-son matching moment. I didn't have time to get my hair and makeup done like all the other girls, so I hope that my makeup and my hair turns out good. I have to help get Mason ready. It really doesn't matter as long as Mason thinks I look beautiful. My dress is black and Mason's date's dress is red. I can't wait to show y'all the flowers that I ordered for myself for Mason to give me. They are so pretty. I really hope someone's going to be there so they can capture that moment because it is going to be so cute. I did get a spray tan this morning. I did have time to work that in. The girl that sprayed me was precious. I told her, you have got to spray me quick because I'm going to prom tonight, so make me look good. I have got to set my makeup so that my makeup lasts all night. The after prom party theme is Y2K, right up my alley. Now that my makeup is for $4, my earrings are from Expeditions. My bangle is from the Golden Hanger.
Yes, again, we have covered this in totality in a previous live stream, but every time I reference the one of those boy moms, I would be remiss to not mention the queen of those boy moms, Miss Lauren Cameron Glass. I mean, getting her hair and makeup done like the other girls, wearing that dress, competing with his date, making his prom about her. You can understand why there are a lot of people who are quick to judge any behavior that even remotely falls in this territory, because it's a lot. It can be too much, and perhaps we mothers, we may need to tone it down a bit. That said, that doesn't mean that, again, as I said, all boy moms behave this way. Not at all. Now, the second part of the phenomenons that affect the story, the first story that we'll get into, the first, does this creator deserve the hate, is the phenomenon that is Madison Humphrey. Raise your hand in chat if you are at all familiar with this creator. If not, as always, I will explain to you. Madison Humphrey specializes in parodying some of the most ridiculous videos she can find on TikTok, to the point that whenever a video is ridiculous enough, typically the very first comment on it is tagging Madison Humphrey. They are just ready for her to parody it, and that's almost the first sign that you know you have done. I shall give you an example of Madison Humphrey. As soon as I let Miles out, my husband closed the door with him in it, and he does not like being boxed in. So
What did I not?
you closed Miles in, and he's just
I'm
been
so
softly
sorry.
whimpering the whole time.
Sorry.
I don't know if chat could hear it, but the whole time he's just been laying flat as a pancake and going
Like that?
like his nose is whistling. Yeah. Like the most tormented dog of all time. I know we were Hassaning Miles, like, how dare we? They said bye, Miles. Okay, so here's a great example of like where Madison Humphrey comes in. Okay, this was a video that went pretty viral. Said, please share this, make my dreams come true. I dreamed of this entrance since I was a child, dreaming of being a Victoria's Secret model. I'll probably have to turn off the music like right away because of licensing, but
You are the one right beside you.
I think that's, you get it. It's a lot. We got the smoke machine, we got the dress, and so of course what Madison Humphreys will naturally do is I mean, iconic. I personally love Madison Humphrey. I think that what she does is just brilliant. I oftentimes wonder how she manages to do it. I mean, she parodied this one wedding. I was really trying to find this one for you guys before the stream, but I just could not. Again, there was a wedding that she parodied where someone actually had like boats behind them and fountains, and she did it. She got a jet ski in a fountain. I don't know how she does it. You get it. You understand both phenomenons now. It is time to get into the video where both of these phenomenons are at play, and I want you to judge if this is a valid judgment, if people were right to call upon the goddess Madison Humphrey for this, who were right to label this as that boy mom behavior, or if the comment section is once again being unhinged. That's not the one I meant to pull up. Let me do this one. Here we go. All right, gang. Okay. There we go. What we have here is a mother and her son. Now, admittedly, the mom does look pretty young, but that happens, you know. We're aging like never before these days. And the text overlay reads, he's getting married in 9 days. I love being his mama. I'll give you a taste of the music, then I'm probably going to have to silence it for licensing. Okay. This is the song Growing Up, Raising. The song kind of cuts off by Gabby Barrett, but the context is definitely, it's not a romantic song, which we have seen before from those boy moms. This is a song specifically about growing up while raising your kids, growing up alongside of your kids growing up, really. A pretty common parenting experience. And, I mean, what we're seeing is the totality of the video. They probably don't dance together super often, so, you know, rehearsing how you might dance is maybe not the worst idea in the world, right? Seeing how you even, like, measure up to each other by this point from when he was a kid, little kid, versus now, 9 days before he's a married man. And we've also seen, like, those boy mom videos where they're doing stuff like that, and then they, like, jump into his arms and it looks like he's, like, squeezing her butt. Not what's happening here. I'm seeing some responses, some initial responses for you guys of, you know, this one seems innocent enough, not too gross. Some of you guys are kind of like slight cringe, but not too bad. So I will admit, the video itself, I'm not offended. No alarm bells. I'm not even in the, like, I will admit, like, when it started, I was like, oh no, is it going to be one of those? But then when I kept watching, I was like, okay, it's not one of those. But then we get to the caption. She's not doing herself any favors with the caption, I'll tell you that. All right. Caption reads, It's just us tonight. Pause. That was enough for me to reel it back and go over the line. That was enough for me to go, okay, maybe we're there. That's a weird thing to say, isn't it? So there's just something about it. And like, it's in and of itself, it's not that weird. It's just all of the added context together created a marinade of for me that I can't just quite describe. Like every mother has like a mother-son day, a mother-daughter day. Every father has like a father-daughter, father-son day where you're like, it's just us, buddy, or it's just us, darling, whatever. That's like very fine. But there's just something about the black and white, slow dancing, and then it's just us tonight, partnered with the fact that, like, again, it's not her fault she looks so young, but I think you could easily, quickly mistake this if you didn't, like, read it right away as it being, like, a romantic video, and the caption is just not helping. Okay, so it continues to read, I made him dinner and we practiced dancing. I'm so excited to witness him marry the love of his life. Mamas, we don't lose anything. We actually gain so much. So the comment section quickly becomes divided here. All right. When I personally pulled it up on my mobile, Madison Humphreys was the very first tag. Yes, there we go. I knew I just needed to scroll a little bit, but yes, Madison Humphreys begins immediately getting tagged, but you'll also see that there's a lot of people contesting this. Y'all, this isn't a Madison Humphrey moment. This is a mom who is happy her son is getting married. She's just reminiscing about her baby boy. Y'all would be calling this post adorable if it was a man and his daughter. So this is very interesting. Now people are kind of doing the opposite gender swap on this one. And in this rare case, I think they're probably right. I think that there are a lot less men who almost like make their relationship with their daughter creepy, especially because men are so praised for setting a good, strong, masculine example for their daughters. And like, you just don't hear about this trope as often. Am I wrong about that? What do you guys think? What's your experience with that been? Do you think that men get accused more often of being creepy with their daughters, or that women get accused more often of being creepy with their sons? I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say. I'm not sure that there's any like studies on this or anything. That's so funny. Victor says, I keep thinking Lauren is talking about the adulterer website with her Madison Humphrey. That's unfortunate for Madison. The comments just are so interesting. Rare healthy mother-son relationship sighting. I don't think it's that rare. I think that the boy mom trope is certainly a thing, but I don't think that people think that most boy moms are like that. I don't think that's very fair. People are getting really upset about the Madison tags. Y'all are tagging Madison, but failed to read the caption where she literally says she's excited for her son to marry the love of his life, and that she's actually gaining a lot by him being married. And that's true, but it can also be read two different ways. On one hand, you can read it as like, finally, a mom who is not being creepy. She's like just practicing her dance. She's just spending time with her son and celebrating him. She's being normal. You could also read this as her almost like self-soothing and coping. You know, like when people start talking about things that no one else is really thinking of, when they're almost guilty of thinking about it. Like, take, for example, the girl who asks her boyfriend, like, why were you out so late? And he's like, why? It's not like I was cheating. And it's like, no one said that, but now that you responded that way, I kind of think you're cheating. You know what I mean? It could also be seen that way, of like her choosing to end this post where she could have just said, like, you know, counting down until my son gets married, practicing our mother-son dance, so excited. But the fact that you chose to say, like, I'm not losing him. I'm not losing him. This isn't me losing the love of my life. Right, no one said you were, right? Like, it could also be seen that way. So I'm curious to hear from you guys where you ultimately fall on this, as far as, does this creator deserve to be lumped in? Does she deserve to get Madison Humphried? Was this yes, a cringe video, even if you are not legitimately trying to be incestuous with your son? Yeah, you ended up falling into the creepy boy mom category, especially with the caption, the editing. You just took it a little bit too far, and if Madison Humphrey decides to parody you, look, you made this public. Sometimes you're legally allowed to get parodied, and that's what's going to happen. Are you on the no camp of like, dude, not everything needs to be villainized. Mothers are allowed to have these moments with their sons and are allowed to love their sons publicly in ways that are safe and wholesome without being accused of some of the grossest shit in the world? Or are you like kind of somewhere in between where you're like, I don't think she did anything wrong. I see where people are getting that vibe because so many moms have been weird. If she gets parodied, yes, she's allowed to get parodied, but I also don't think that people should do it with malicious intent. Where do you guys fall on that? I'm curious. I'm gonna read some of your comments here. SVR says, quote, trying not to be incestuous. Well, that's the most redneck thing I heard today. I just gotta fight. You know, you ever just get those little invasive, incestuous thoughts? Dylan says, mothers are loud. True. Cannot deny. Turd Ferguson, been a minute since I seen you, pal, says, you're totally allowed to do it publicly when you're not filming and uploading it for attention and potentially monetizing. The standard response for these is, shouldn't have uploaded this. You think so? What if she's just, what if this isn't just a good way of having her memories memorialized? Does the son appear in any of her other videos? Oh, let's do a quick little cursory scroll of Depop 1. Let's see. I'll take you guys with me on this journey. Cute dog. She's a realtor. Maybe him when he was younger. Maybe him? Maybe the son? Yeah, he appears in some. Obviously, it's mostly her in her life, which, fair. Yeah, nothing else about her is like ringing alarm bells to me. She just seems like a regular mom who got caught up in a superstorm of internet judgment, which admittedly exists due to a lot of hair triggers that were warranted from other videos. But me personally, I think this is all a good time to kind of slow down and realize, like, not everybody is like internet brained like this. Not everybody knows about these tropes or like knows to even avoid falling into them. It's one of those situations where sometimes a creepy boy mom and just a regular loving boy mom can exhibit the same behaviors, and it's kind of up to us as to like how far we choose to judge someone, how healthy or unhinged our judgments are starting to become about people so quickly based off of just like snapshot videos. Other times, we can see enough in 60 seconds to make a solid judgment. This time, I don't think so. This time I think we might have jumped the gun a bit. I'm sure that even Madison Humphrey herself, when she sees this, is going to be like, why would I replicate this? Like, what am I going to do? Just dance around with my paid actor husband, like, in a kitchen? That's not... When I've done so many other things, like when I've literally put a jet ski in a fountain, like... This is gonna destroy my algorithm. Why would I parody this? Most boring parody in the world. Also, good to see you, Twitch gang. Twitch gang is small, but mighty. And yes, Tom, that's true. Memories do exist when you're the only one to have them. I'm a video and photo queen, though. I am. I still do it old school, though, where I make photo albums. They're fun. They're fun for the kids to, like, pick up and look through. And it helps you remember. It really does. Brains are not perfect. Let me tell you. What's our final judgment on this boy mom? Should she be fed to the Madison Humphrey wolves? Does she deserve to be spared? Does she get a sprinkle of judgment as a treat, but no more? Where do we fall, gang? Where do we fall? Ahoy, Beeheart. So good to see you. Damn it, 30 minutes late again. Don't worry, Beeheart. Just 1.5 it. You'll be caught up in no time. All right. Connor votes innocent. Pixie votes innocent. A good mama. Victor, you got me again. I had to think about that. Faux Toes album. Not the AI generated toes. Another vote for innocent from Folger. Eric, with a little bit more nuance here, made a really, really bad one line. But other than that, they're okay. All right. In the court of Dadvocate's room of justice, we vote this mother not guilty of being one of those boy moms. You're free to go, madam. You always were. Next to be judged, we have the street birthday father versus the court of public opinion. This next defendant stands trial for holding his daughter's birthday party in the middle of the street. Is this what some would consider ghetto, degenerate, below the bare minimum? Or is this a father doing his absolute best in a situation that many do not understand? Let's judge for ourselves. As I described, the sun has started to go down, if not already gone down. We see a father holding his daughter in the street. Text overlay reads, POV, celebrating my baby's 9th birthday in the street as the battle for a peaceful co-parenting life continues. Quote, joyful pain.
What? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? That's Lavinia. That's what me.
So in case the licensed music becomes a problem, I'm just going to keep describing to you. I mean, it's at least a nice street. No potholes as far as I can see. Dad's got some beautifully wrapped gifts here for her, beautiful balloon, and he's now lighting off one of those, like, firework candles. I've never had one of those. I probably wouldn't like it. I would be like, not indoors, right? So it's actually perfect. A perfect idea. If you're going to be out in the street, get some fireworks. So he's lighting her off, some cupcakes. Obviously, some family or friends are here with him because we've got the cameraman. Dad's got a beautiful smile. Daughter is loving it, holding the cupcake candle. He can see that she's a little bit scared, so he takes it away from her and he finishes up holding the fireworks. She's starting to open up her gifts. Now I'm curious what's inside here, actually. It's a pretty big box. As a kid, that's the kind of box you get excited about. All right. I'm sure if, like, I could hear, we would see what it is. Possibly something that needs to get built. But, yeah, sorry, just the licensed music. Don't want to get shunned for that. Oh, man, what have we got? Maybe some gymnastics equipment. She's loving it. So, caption reads, we are all going through, about to go through, been through a certain pain in our lives. It's about how you carry yourself through that pain and how you nurture yourself and others around you through those tough times that really matters. I'm here now for everyone, just one click away. Accept no limits. Let's go. And then looks like he's got some kind of channel he's trying to promote here. Yeah, possibly a yoga mat. But yeah, so this is another situation where the comments are pretty divided. Basically, anytime a dad is visibly in a situation where he doesn't have perfect 50-50, where he is relegated to odd, awkward visiting hours instead of a respectable shared parenting schedule or even full custody, people make the worst judgments they possibly can. Sorry, just something in my eye here that's bugging me. The first snap judgment is, of course, that he must have done something wrong, and that's why he doesn't have 50-50. He didn't fight hard enough, and that's why he doesn't have 50-50 or rights to a proper birthday celebration. He is a deadbeat, and he only shows up when he wants to, and if he really wanted to properly celebrate her birthday with her, he would have gone through the right channels to secure the proper times. These are all things that I'm sure a lot of you who have subscribed to a channel called the Dadvocate have probably heard before or have heard slung around at any friends or family you might have who are in this situation and have heard of these things. But, of course, on this channel, The Dadvocate, we know better. We know that there are a lot of reasons that this guy might be in this situation. So I'll let you know, this does take place in the UK, this particular situation. And I will also admit to you, I am not a professional or an expert at UK family court laws. I would like to become more familiar over time, but right now I have to focus on my own country, unfortunately, but hopefully my channel still helps you guys over in the UK. I'm not a master at the laws. What I do know about here in the United States is that 45 out of 50 states, in those states, any unmarried mother automatically gets sole physical and legal custody, even when paternity is established. Like, even when he has signed the birth certificate as fully established paternity, no matter what, she just gets it. And so if he wants any more than just baseline visitation privileges, which, mind you, he also has to file for. Otherwise, his visitation privileges are whatever she allows. So if he wants any custody, he's going to have to fight for it. Now, keep in mind, in these 45 out of 50 states, there is no presumption of 50-50 custody. What that means is that while joint custody can exist, it only exists when agreed upon by both parties. Now, riddle me this, Batman. If you are a mother who has full control over your child and you're getting the maximum child support check you can because you're the one who decides all of the overnights and you can maximize or minimize that as much as you want, why in the world would you agree to 50-50 custody and lose control and lose a fatter paycheck? Why would you do that? That makes no sense. So instead, what a father with no custody is going to have to file for is custody. And to do that, he's going to have to prove that she's not fit to be a parent. What? So the only way for a child in 45 out of 50 states to have two equal parents, which is proven by all measures to be the best successful conditions for a child, is they are not allowed to have that unless it's agreed upon magically, which if the parents aren't together, I'm going to assume it's not agreed upon. So the only way for a father to be an equal or present figure at all is to now cut the mother out. We essentially live in a legal court system where the courts prefer one parent, one visitor, one receiver of a paycheck that the government now gets to collect a percentage of, which may be pennies on the dollar, but those pennies on the dollar definitely add up, considering 25% of kids in America are in these custodial, non-custodial situations, right? That benefits the court. They prefer one parent, one visitor. That's best for them. And many people will argue, well, no, that's also best for the kids, because if one person is in charge of all of the decision making, they can't possibly argue. No, that's actually an argument that gets made and represses the option for children to have their fathers in their lives on a constant basis. So, all of that in mind, bearing in mind that we have hundreds of thousands to millions of families and situations where a father and a mother bring a child into the world, but mother is just automatically sole decider until father gets thousands of dollars to retain a lawyer, the time off of work, to go to court, all of these different things to try to even fight for a basic memorialized schedule, which he may not even get. He may not even get a memorialized schedule. The very first time that my husband went to court to attempt to get a memorialized schedule as the non-custodial father, sorry, mochi hair. Again, this wasn't even an attempt to take away custody. It was just to get an outlined schedule, a court-ordered schedule, so that everyone can know what times for what are. Because I don't know if you know this, but living a life where you don't know when you will get to see your kids, trying to plan for holidays when the other parent will not respond back to you until hours before the holiday break starts, never being able to properly plan vacations, time with family, your child asking, who am I staying with this week? And you not being able to answer because of custodial mom or custodial parent, in the rare cases a dad decides to abuse the system through his financial power as well, which some do, is just constantly changing the schedule to whatever works for them. Yeah, you're going to need to go to court to try and get something consistent and reliable for everybody. The first time my husband ever went there, they dismissed the need for it, and no one even set up a court schedule. Despite the fact that in the response to the motion, mom even agreed that there was some semblance of a pattern of consistency. No one was willing to just make a court order for it. So it was just thousands of dollars for everybody down the drain. People think it's so easy to get a basic schedule, but it's not. It's so expensive. You have to have so much knowledge of the legal system. You have to do so much research to make sure you get a good lawyer, and not just one who completely talks you out of it for some reason. There's so much complicated extra steps to this. So we don't know where this dad is at in the process. We do not know if he is in a situation where he is still waiting for actual court-ordered time to come through, and this is just like the petty little pittance that the mother has like barely tolerated allowing. We also don't know if he does have court-ordered time, but he's being denied. If he's been denied all day and she's just barely managed to sneak out. Or if mom finally switched care over to the grandparent and the grandparent let him see the daughter. We don't know where he's at. What we do know for sure is that he showed up and made it happen with the little bit he had. And for as much as people want to hate on single dads and assume that most single dads are deadbeats, that they're the reason the relationship didn't work, that of course the kids are safer with a mom, I know a hell of a lot of dads who have done stuff like this since day one. I just finished interviewing, not even too long ago, a father who literally took a plane to a completely different state because the mom said, I'm denying you time, I'm denying you time. And then finally she was like, you know what? Fine. You can have 15 minutes if you want to shop. Knowing he was in a different state, he paid $800 for a plane ticket to go take her up on that 15 minutes for his kid's birthday. Then flew back. This is real shit. This is real shit that fathers are doing. Thankless, unacknowledged, for just for those 15 minutes. They'll do it. And it's still an uphill Sisyphean task for so many of them to get like baseline respect. And this is why I do what I do. Do I know for sure that this man is a perfect man? No. Am I gonna jump to the worst possible conclusion when watching this video? No. Why are we being so unhinged to do that? You know? And I'm glad he posted this, because despite the fact that it could potentially feel embarrassing for him to be in such a situation, despite the fact that he did end up opening himself up to a lot of criticism, ridicule, judgment, some of the worst accusations and judgments that a man and a father can be subjected to. I'm glad that he shared this video because, again, like I said, this actually isn't as rare as you would think. This actually isn't just another, like, scripted or fake scene or someone being overly performative. This is just stuff that a freaking ton of non-custodial dads have to do because it is the only time they have. This is something that, you know, I've watched my husband go through, my husband's parents, my husband's entire family go through with my stepson for the last 10 years, is fighting and fighting and fighting for every tiny minute that they can get. And just watching some of the ways that, like, spiteful custodial parents will just fight it. You know, I still remember the first summer after we were formally engaged and we decided, you know, we're going to get our first place together and it's fair to move in together at this time because we're engaged. And that first summer that I was like formally living with him, the agreed upon schedule, and I like still have the emails, was like, my husband was seeing him every day. She agreed to him seeing him every day in the summer because they had different work schedules and she was going to be at work anyway. Like that, yeah, that makes perfect sense. And as a lot of you know, my husband always lived like less than a mile away, especially the new place that we got together was like crazy close. And we still are within that 1 mile radius and have been for the last 10 years. Before that, I'm so sorry, maybe it was a few more miles. Are you leaving?
I'm leaving the door.
Okay. I love you. Have a good day.
Man, thank you. These back end long shifts, like, don't get me wrong, this is what I have to expect if I get the assistant manager upgrade in like a year or so, but it's like,
oh,
damn,
they
it's
hit
a
my
freaking
ADHD
adjustment.
husband with a complete schedule, with a consistent schedule for so long, and then it just switched, and that's what happened. You had a routine.
Is what's happening is one of our techs in back, I told you, Katie's leaving because her and her boyfriend are moving to her boyfriend's family like in like 40 minutes away.
You get husband work lore.
Sorry.
We'll put a pin in.
And so this is the person who literally checks in all of our patients, runs all of the pre-tests, and we're like, oh, we have one person who does this part-time on every other weekend. so she can get weekends off. But it's like, that's our best tech. The other people can like kind of do it. So I think what they're doing is I'm basically filling in for one of the new guys who he's shown a real propensity for like the tech stuff. So she's like hyper training him in like 3 weeks. But it also means that we've kind of been kicked out.
Katie.
Yeah, well, go Sean too, because he's like brand new and he was just learning to sell stuff. And they're like, we're gonna go teach you how to do something literally completely different. Come on, buddy. And he's like, okay.
This is so funny. I was just talking to our mod Phil, shout out Phil, what up, about how like difficult it is to start a new job and how it's never easy. Every new job is hardest, and you're always like, how am I ever going to do this? Oh my god, they're gonna fire me, I suck. And then like 2 months later, you're showing up 10 minutes late because you own the place, or is that just me?
No, it's 100% kind of like
Sean will be good. He's gonna have to embrace the suck for a bit.
He's a Magic the Gathering guy, so he's a very details oriented.
What is it about your office that just attracts nerds?
Dude, Will didn't even know this guy's interest when he hired him.
Nerd magnet.
He literally had no idea until like the second day of hiring him, and he caught Sean in like a conversation. He's like, "Wait, are you seriously into this thing?" He's like, "Oh yeah, anime, card games, all that stuff." And he like he has a 4-year-old too, so he's like never gonna leave this, just like me, just this cycle of nerddom. There's never gonna be aging out, because by the time his son ages out, he's gonna be a grandpa probably. But yeah, so now it's just all nerds, front to back.
We love to see it.
Even Connie, the about to retire lab tech, is I found out a big book nerd, and she likes like high fantasy. She's like I'm reading this one called Legend. I'm like, Connie, you like Highland Cows and fantasy novels.
Chat, if you were there for the members only Shoe on Head one,
What?
you're looking at the screen right now, Chim Helper mode. Like, I'm sorry, Connie was reading what about Highland Cows?
No, she likes Highland Cows and high fantasy novels.
You need to watch Shoe on Head's toast. You will never look at Connie the same again. Me and chat just like me and Connor specifically right now.
Big yikes. All right, well, whoopsie. That's
You're gonna die when you find out.
I don't think it has anything to do with minotaurs, if that's what we're getting towards here. But
Minotaurs were only one of the types of cow.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, no, I think it's more like how
Chat is
you
mad
like
at me right now.
spiders.
I'm sure Connie is actually reading about cows. I mean, I hope and I pray, but
Oh no, she's
know,
not
if
reading
not-
books about cows. She just likes to find Highland cows and pet them because she thinks they're so cute. She likes
okay,
to read.
same Connie.
She likes to read high fantasy novels about like gods fighting and like ancient like nerd shit. Like shit when I went even like, wow, that's deep. That's deep nerd shit. Yeah, no. Okay, I see where that miscommunication happens. No. Not mutually exclusive interests.
Because, like, I will say these days, like, back in the day, like, a good few years ago, if someone was like, I'm a book nerd, you would be like, aw, that's cute. I bet you like crocheting and innocent things. But now when girls are like, I'm a book nerd, I'm like, you salacious beast. Yeah. I already know you are just dirty.
Yeah.
You animal.
Right.
Okay. Like a girl telling me she likes to read now, like it's equivalent at this point to a man being like, I love Bonnie Blue. I know what that means. Shadow God's still the best live. Such a great time watching. Oh man, what an insane pivot from like my actual advocacy for fathers' rights to the most unspeakable literature. What a pivot. Anyway, I do remember where I was at, actually, in regards to responding to this video and talking about the fact that, like, really, though, I have seen some mothers, like, make efforts to essentially hide the child. I was saying, you know, my husband was originally seeing his son every day of the summer because mom had work before he was seriously dating someone. Ring enters finger, girlfriend, now fiance, moves in, and suddenly it's, no, I think 1 day a week would be best during the summer. And like, at first my husband was like, that's stupid, you're not even watching the kids, you're having your parent watch the kid. So he would go and still go to the house and be like, hey, do you mind if I take my son? And her parents would be like, yeah, go ahead. And so as soon as she found out that her parents didn't mind that the father was taking the child, she started dropping him off to her boyfriend's parents' house while they worked so that he couldn't do that. So I'm sorry, like, having personally witnessed that, I know that it can be hard to believe that a mother would withhold a child for no good reason. But I watched my husband fully pay his child support, show up for every single athletic event, religious sacrament, random school stuff, would just show up to walk him to school in the mornings, like, doing everything right since day one, literally moved 250 miles to be 1 mile away from his son, and then still get treated like that. I know it exists. I know that there are people who will manipulate a system if given the opportunity to manipulate a system. And so when I see videos like this father having to celebrate a street birthday, yeah, I'm going to afford him some benefit of the doubt. I'm going to assume this is a guy being deliberately put through the ringer. Because clearly, mom will allow the daughter outside to see him. This is not a situation where she's not safe to even be with him. But she also doesn't care enough to, like, do better for her daughter. This is a situation where, and I don't know the situation, maybe it is a lot deeper, and if I heard her side, maybe I could potentially switch up. But this looks like a situation where one parent hates their ex a little bit more than they love what's best for their child. All right? That's kind of what I'm seeing here. That's the situation from here. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think that this dad clearly did something wrong? A mother would not put you out on the street like that, give you this limited access, must be supervised if you didn't, like, significantly mess something up. Do you think that even if he messed something up, you clearly are trusting him enough with the kid for this, so you should be able to let him do this at a Chuck E. Cheese or something? Why is he not being allowed a little bit more? Or are you kind of somewhere in the middle, like, we don't have enough context to judge, but good for him for working with what he's got still? Or do you kind of think that, you know, this is one of those situations where I don't care what's happening or how good of a dad you may or may not be behind the camera, I don't want to see your kid online? Some of you might be just taking the whole parenting thing out of it and just say, I don't want to see kids online. Some of you just have that intellectually consistent view, which I can also respect. Because I've said it before as well, no matter what's going on in your co-parenting journey, no matter how bad you might want to talk about it, it can be dangerous to post your online, right? I also agree with protecting kids' privacy, things like that. So I actually would be in a very nuanced bubble where I can feel for him. I want to use his experience to educate others on what a lot of fathers are going through. But yeah, make sure that you're still protecting your daughter online. Don't, definitely don't make sure that you're, like, using her for views or to promote whatever kind of, like, channel you have going on. You did lose points with me for that one, but I get it. Sometimes these situations, you're like, I gotta let people know what's going on too. So I'm a little bit torn on that one. Let me know what you guys think. I think it would have been a perfect video if her face wasn't shown. Is that fair? Slipknot YK06. Feral girls shouldn't be like feral furries. What's wrong with feral furries? What if they're nice feral furries? RCN, so good to see you. Hey Lauren, you should read the book A Billion Wicked Thoughts. It's a scientific book about the corn Google engineers found women-like versus men-like. Interesting. Very curious, yeah. I've heard some things. I've heard some things that are like popular categories for women are things that you would just not expect. But we won't get into that now. What's your final judgment, y'all? Is the street birthday dad innocent or guilty? You have to pick one. Okay? Popular vote wins. You are the jury. Deliberate. Let me read this comment from Frigida Tactu. As a parent that grew up, or as a person that grew up in the middle of a co-parenting drama, I had a mother that would simply deny my father time with me solely out of spite. Never did anything to her. Always tried to do good by me. Another thing that I hate is if the kid misbehaves or do something wrong and they take away seeing their dad as a punishment. That's just not appropriate. Take away the Nintendo Switch, take away anything else. All right, we've got to vote for Birthday Street Dad is innocent in the court of Dadvocate's public opinion. Yeah, these are two parents that got wrongfully ate up by the internet. But here in the Dadvocate's live stream and live court, we have declared them innocent. Free to go, mother and father. All right. And now for something totally different. Oh, wait, let me read this comment from Facebook. Joshua Burkhart. The dad having a birthday party on the sidewalk. Notice that the daughter doesn't go on the sidewalk and the dad doesn't go on the grass. This is the best he can do to avoid going to jail. And it's also that he encourages other men to be on the sidewalk instead of giving up. Definitely, just take what you can get. Good day, all. Did I miss any wholesome? Hey, I can do some wholesome. I just added to my wholesome bank, actually. I've got a really good one for you if y'all want some wholesome real quick.
Okay, we got a massive fight right now.
Okay, so what we're watching right now is a gang of either all brothers or one kid and his friends, or a mix of a kid, his brothers, and friends. I am so sorry. The mochi cat fur is all over my lips. Go out ice fishing with one of their dads or all of their dad. One dad. He leaves to go to the bathroom, and this happens while he's gone.
It really blew us out. Let him run. He's ran like 150 yards, bro. He just runs every time we get close.
These are little kids, too.
Let's freaking go.
They're not like teenagers.
And we were like, oh, there's not gonna be a fish. Freaking we see it, and when we saw me and Roxy. Yeah. We was like, he's running. Never mind. Oh my gosh. He's running so I can't. I literally have butterflies right now. Oh, it's freaking hard to breathe.
Men only think about one thing. It's disgusting.
Oh, it's a massive fish. It's like, yeah, 42 inches. Bro, it's 42 inches. Easy 42. Bro, that's huge.
Wait for it.
Oh, holy fish.
Holy fish.
Wait,
I love that they don't swear once.
oh my god.
They're right. That's a dinosaur. True. 44 inches. So they were right. I told you guys I had some wholesome for you. Henry says, I'm not even their dad and I'm proud of them. Oh my god. This says, this one time we got left on the ice while our dad ran to the bathroom, and of course that's when the biggest pike we've ever seen decided to bite. No adults, no help, just pure chaos and a fish story that we'll be telling forever. Ah, that's such a good one. We love that. That was truly their Sandlot moment. Right there. Not an iPad in sight. That's right, JH. Not a fish, more like a living torpedo. They got her done though, didn't they? Oh, man. Yeah, I got your back. Let me know if y'all need any other wholesome too. I got a few more for you in the bank. Them boys are legends. I hope they never change too. That's like also one of those things that is like very pure and wholesome about a family with boys specifically. Cause that's a lot. That's a lot for anybody. Just a bunch of boys. Especially cause like y'all are the risk takers, man. And I had a bit of that in me growing up. And when I found out that I was pregnant, that was like the first thought that went through my head was all the stupid things I did on like a dirt bike, on a BMX bike, like just all the stupid tricks I did that had me like ripped open and going to the hospital. And I'm like, and that's gonna be my kid. But brothers, man, they got each other's backs. That's for sure. All right. I got another one I want to cover with you guys. Let me pause this before I get into it. All right. So, a couple things to know about me. And one thing I'm curious to know about you. Are you guys for or against SW? I'll just risk it for the biscuit and say it. SW standing for sex work. Wide umbrella that falls under. Could just be a girl taking some lingerie photos. I mean, who's that one OF star, Sophie Rain? It's my understanding she's never fully taken her clothes off in her entire career. That's impressive. I can't lie. To full on hook in the streets. Wide umbrella there, right? Are you guys for or against? I have like a very middle of the road opinion that where I believe it should be legal. I don't see a good reason that it should be illegal. I think that adults should have the ability to pay for sex if they want to, and if another consenting adult wants to make money by performing sexually, I think it should be legal. As far as like, do I have to respect it? Here's a great comparison. Art should be legal, obviously. I don't have to respect all art. Some art is shit. Some art is terrible. Worse, some art is like exploitative and used to launder money. Some art is just some rich bitch's kid who they sent to art school because they can't buy a babysitter for their 20-year-old anymore. Like some art is complete crap. Even if it makes them feel good, if it makes other people feel good, I'm subjectively allowed to be like, that's freaking terrible. Some artwork is morally inappropriate, right? Even if it brings you joy as the creator and others perhaps joy as the consumer, some art really pushes moral boundaries. And some SW can fall under the umbrella of art as well. I think a lot of enjoyers of it could agree. I mean, they'd full on perform like skits and stuff. They learn all these like fisherman ties to like do all kinds of bondage and stuff. So look, a part of me, I have to respect the hustle, but of course the ones who like find really disgusting, degenerate ways to promote themselves, or worse, try to like turn it into a pyramid scheme where they're starting to like offer bonuses on OF now for recruitment, and you're trying to like convince other people that like it's the best lifestyle and everybody can make a ton of money off of it. That's where I'm like, I don't have to respect this. I think it should be legal. I think you should legally be allowed to do it. You should be taxed as well. But yeah, you should be allowed to do it. Do I have to respect it? No. No, I don't. And I'm sick of being told I have to, honestly. You know, it's one of those situations. So this next video, like I said, I will fight for your right to be able to do it. I will absolutely defend your right to do it, for sure. And I don't think that anybody should harass you or threaten you or like try to cause you harm because you do it. But depending on how you promote yourself, you might fall into my spider web of judgment. And that is what is going to happen today. I couldn't find the original video to this. So the video that I'm seeing is a reaction video from a creator named Haidumi. So I'm going to pause at her reaction. No offense to Haidumi. Go feel free to follow her if you want to see her full reaction to this clip. But yes, she is the one that I originally saw this through. Oh, let me make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. I think I may have missed. Okay, I saw the one from Arceon. So let me scroll down a little bit more. Lacey says, the llama vid I sent is for the Wholesome Bank, by the way. I will have to add it. I'll have to add it for next time. Hammer says, me suddenly realizing that knowing a bunch of not work can be sus. Or impressive. I mean, if you're not opposed to that, you might get yourself a freak. And actually, yes, Lacey, you do bring up a great point. This is another reason that I also think it should be legal. There is evidence that some SW can help lessen violent sex crimes. Yes, there is research that proves this. Bonnie Blue is a character who brings that statistic up a lot to validate and justify what she's doing. But she is another person who I think does it in an ultimately harmful way, because she's started like really start saying some lewd, disgusting things like that. If a husband is cheating on his wife, it must be because she's doing something wrong. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, you weren't making enough money without saying that. That's where I'm just like, that's the stuff I don't need to respect, you know? So here we go. Let's get into this video. So the text on screen reads, I sleep with men for money, and y'all got so mad at me over my last money count video.
I sleep with men for money, and y'all got so mad at me over the last money count video that I decided why not do it again. So this is yesterday's pay, by the way. $100, $200, $1,000 plus 50, so $1,050.
By the way, this was within a span of 4 men in one day. She made a little bit over $1,000 for the.
So Haidumi goes on to say, basically, for the cheap price of $250, you can objectify this woman. And I guess she kind of like cut the video there where it was at, but that she went on to say that that was from performing with 4 men in one day. She made a little over or under, I believe, $1,000. $1,000 in one day is pretty good. I think a lot of us would probably struggle to make $1,000 in one day without doing something degenerate. Right? That's a pretty tough bag to get within a day. However, I like to be educational on this channel. Let me tell you something. Before all of this, before being a creator, I was just a regular old college dropout lady like many of you. I come from a poor Ukrainian immigrant family. Did not grow up with a ton of money. Grew up in Detroit. No, not in some suburb around Detroit. 313. I know what it means when there are shoes above a clothesline or above a wire in a neighborhood. Like truly, actually the hood. I was told at a very young age my parents would not be paying for any college for me, so that I need to get in on my own merit. Like, no extraordinary opportunities or nepotism to draw from. That said, you can get ordained for free online in less than 15 minutes. Go type it up right now. How to get ordained. You can be ordained in like 10 minutes from now if you want. As an ordained minister, you can legally wed people. Learning how to perform a basic ceremony, it's going to take some extra work, but being an ordained minister and marrying someone, you are allowed to just read off of something. People are typically not offended if you do not fully memorize what you need to do. So you can just have a script, which you can get for free online. You can just Google wedding ceremony script. Whoever hires you, you go to Thumbtack, any kind of like job posting app. You say, I'm an ordained minister. You plug the people's names into the basic ceremony script you get. You read it. This will take you 30 minutes, maybe. You get to possibly eat free food and dance afterward and meet some pals. But if you don't want to stay 30 minutes tops, you can charge $250 to $300 to possibly more based on travel per ceremony. You probably won't be able to do multiple weddings in one day, but you just add that as a side hustle to any basic job, as I did when I was making minimum wage or barely over that. Bear in mind, in Michigan, minimum wage is a lot more than the $7 federal figure. It's like all the way up to like 15-ish now here in Michigan. But like making minimum wage, I would do weddings on the side and I could easily make $1,000 a month stretched out just doing weddings here and there, and they were really fun to do. That's one way to get $1,000. But if you really like hone your craft and you start doing this like full time, start getting like references, spreading word of mouth. I mean, to this day, people still tag me and people looking for ordained ministers or someone to officiate a wedding all the time, and they know I don't really need to do that stuff anymore, but I still get tagged in it because everyone knows that I do it now. And that could easily be you. My total number of weddings is maybe even like 7. Like, I didn't even go fully balls to the wall with it, but I could have. There's people getting married all the time. You know, there's so many different things that you can do. And like, when you officiate weddings, you can tell your family about that at Thanksgiving. Like, you don't have to worry about not getting employed in the future because someone found out that you used to officiate weddings. You know what I'm saying? That's all. I just wanted to say that in response to this, like, epic money count video. Because it's like, she thinks that this is some kind of flex. She thinks that people are like just jealous of her money or something, but like, I don't want to downplay earning $1,000 in a day, because it's certainly a lot of money for one day, but it's also not that much money when you look at like the totality and grand scheme of things. Like, there is so much less risk in, like I said, like officiating weddings or becoming a notary, and like that's your job, is your gig, is you just show up and stamp things. I know it's not that simple, but like, there are much simpler ways to earn around the same figures that you're talking about, and no one is ever going to refuse to go on a second date with me when they found out that I officiated weddings. Like, my family is not going to call me in tears worried about me because they found out that I officiated weddings. My children will not get bullied in school when their classmates find out that I officiated weddings. Do you see where I'm going with this? Again, I am not trying to like go out of my way to shame sex workers. They get enough shame, and I don't think that the shame is going to make them stop doing it. My hope is that through making these points and saying this to a wider audience, I can hopefully prevent someone who's considering it. Because here's the sad thing about girlhood and being a woman is probably every woman flips through that brochure. I hate to say it, but it's promoted as such an easy, accessible, always open job market where you are almost guaranteed to earn some money. Fast money, often untaxed depending on how you go about it, that a lot of women, if they get desperate enough, they consider it. It's probably as often as men consider unaliving. It's like a very sad brochure that probably everybody at some point flips through. I hate to be dark, so I have a lot of empathy for people who consider that. I really hope that we can start getting the message out there of like, there are other ways. Wait, no, stop. Like, no, there are other ways though. There are other opportunities where you can use your charisma, use your voice, use what your mama gave you that you might probably like more, even, if that's fair to say. SVR says, I don't blame SW, but you really have to know that you can deal with the emotional consequences. And that's the unfortunate thing. And like, this is why I'm kind of okay with speaking out more of advocating against it, and why I've kind of toned down how fully sex positive I am, because being sex positive kind of started going in the same direction that feminism did, where it had really good intentions at first, especially with regards to the whole, like, it's not fair that women get shamed for their sexuality so much more than men. I still think that's not fair, but where it just went way, way, way too far, where, like, the sex positivity movement completely started disregarding safe sex, and, like, safe sex almost started being shamed, where people saying, like, okay, so you want to have multiple partners, but I hope you're using protection and getting checked regularly. And it's like, whoa, why are you saying that to me? Would you say that to someone in a monogamous relationship? And it's like, yes. If they're not trying to get pregnant, yes. But if you're monogamous, there's a significantly reduced chance of spreading STIs. And like, why are we denying that? Why are we pretending that doesn't exist? Like, come on now, like, we still have to be realistic about this. Tracy says, I got very close to doing SW in my early 20s due to desperate circumstances. So glad I never went through with it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I wish that there was more education like addressed the fact of like, hey, you shouldn't have to feel shame for considering this, but consider it, and then keep considering. Right? Like, strongly consider, because it's great to say like women should be able to enjoy sex, women should be able to, you know, like, discuss sex in a way that they're not inherently shamed for it. Like, this is why a lot of women aren't having orgasms, is because they were shamed out of even being able to talk about sex for so long, and that sucks. I do think that there's a lot more. I could be like fairly sexually liberal, but like, just, there comes a point where you also have to be pragmatic. Like, I think some people just get a little bit too idealistic, and they're like, well, people should be able to have as much sex with whoever they want all the time, no matter what. That's just not smart. That's just not safe. I think you gotta be smarter. I think that sex is a loaded gun. It's crazy how, like, this is just an ironic part about liberals. And keep in mind, this isn't me completely bashing liberals. I bash liberals as much as I bash conservatives. Do not ever forget that. Also, you guys have probably figured out I'm more left-leaning than right-leaning. Okay, so I do end up standing with them on a lot of things, but it's like, one really ironic thing about liberals is that they're the first ones to be like, we should have no guns. Guns are so bad. Guns are so unsafe. And the same ones to be like, men can't be trusted. Men are basically loaded guns. The chocolate poop analogy of, if I told you one of these chocolates was actually poop, you wouldn't eat any of the chocolates, and that's how we have to treat men. And like, men bad, guns bad. But then they're like, everybody should fuck everything. Not having a care in the world about like the children who have to grow up in like really not ideal situations because the parents were not prepared financially, emotionally. They were just having raucous, unprotected sex. Like the consequences of like addictions, the consequences of like not being able to take your significant other anywhere because they've boned so many people in the Tri-County area. Like, pretending that promiscuity doesn't have consequences is pretty short-sighted of a lot of the like sex positive movement. I'm sorry, but like, this is where I'm a little bit more middle of the road about it. Like, I'm not a total conservative of like, save yourself until marriage. Like, not at all. But I'm sorry, you should not fuck everything you want to fuck. You should not. That we have to have more discernment than that. We are like a more evolved species than most of the other stupid species around us for a reason. Like, we have so much brain power and ability to use it. Like, we can't just keep doing this. Like, we have to be smarter. And that's exactly right, Pudslinger. Guns are fine if you handle and store them correctly. Sex is fine if you handle it and store yourself correctly. But a lot of us are not. But I just had to address that money count. Which actually, that money count is a really good segue into another money count video I had saved forever ago. Let me find this one, actually. This is actually a great transition into like how money count videos are a plague on society in general, and pretty much just asking for trouble. Like, I can't really think of a way that you can be like, look at how much money I have, and you don't look like a douchebag, unless it's something like, look at how much money we raised for charity. Then I think we can all get on board for that. But here's another example of a money count where things went terribly wrong, but not in the same way. Not in the same way. Well, let's turn the music off there because it sounds like it'll be just annoying anyway. This is a TikTok carousel. This one says, how much I make in a work week as a server. Friday night, 6.5 hours, $486.65 in credit card tips, $42 in cash tips, $145 that she had to tip out, which, if you don't know what the tip out system is, most restaurants have it to where the server has to basically share a small percentage of their tips with everyone else who helped them. So I believe the bartender gets tipped out, the food runner, the person who delivers the food out if you're busy taking tables, gets a percentage of your tips, and it might go other places to perhaps like the dish staff, maybe even the cooks, perhaps. So yes, a percentage of her tips she does have to share with other people who helped her during her shift. So after all that, she ends up making $383.65 total. Okay. Saturday morning, she worked 6 hours. She made $350 credit card, $52 in cash. She tipped out $98. She made $269.15. Saturday night, she worked 5.5 hours. She made $364.57. So for 11.5 hours, she made $633.72 all day. Let's do some quick maths as to like what that looks like hourly. Divided by 11.5. So on Saturday, she made just over $55 an hour. Not bad, not bad. She keeps going though. Sunday morning, 6 hours, $220. Sunday night. Now keep in mind, she's working like all day though, which I remember those 12-hour shifts as a waitress. $145. So for 9.5 hours, she made $365. Monday night, 6 hours, $250. Also, a bar regular just gave me 4 ears of corn. That's awesome. That's freaking awesome. I would definitely take some free corn. Make some elote. And then back to the beginning. So, I would like to share with you the comment section. Because when I tell you they crashed out. Are you guys also crashing out right now? Are you guys also mad about this? I'm so curious because this literally pissed off so many people, especially people who do not understand American tipping culture. As a server, I need servers to stop advertising this because it's making people tip less. Narrator voice. She is correct. People in the chat did decide they were going to start tipping less as a result of this video. Careful, the broke anti-tippers are going to start crying again. Okay. I will say this. I have changed my attitude on tipping, but not from what it originally was, but from what the diabolical American culture has started warping it into being. And Caleb Hammer of one of my favorite shows, Financial Audit, has helped me do this because if you don't know what Financial Audit is, it is a show where basically you can receive a free financial budgeting plan to help get you out of debt if you agree to get berated for your financial decisions for an hour by Caleb Hammer. Up to you if you want to take the deal. It's always out there for you. And you have to fly down to Texas, but he'll often reimburse you. So he has talked a lot on his show about how anti-tipping he is. Not necessarily tipping when at a restaurant, but like all of the arbitrary tipping that has started to be like added on to absolutely every single thing, to the point where even like some self-checkout machines have a tipping option. Like they ask you at Auntie Annie's when you ask for a pretzel if you want a tip. And for a while I would just automatically be like, oh yeah, okay, I don't want to be a meanie pants. And I would just give this person who literally just filled up a slushie that was already pre-made in a drink for me like 15% more than I would have had to pay. And so I've definitely stopped doing that. Now, if I'm going out to eat, yes, I prepare a tip in advance. Absolutely, because I understand the situation, and I also used to be a tip waitress, and I know that refusing to tip is not going to destroy tipping culture in and of itself. It is not the rebellion we think it is. But like, this is definitely making people not want to tip anymore, because to a lot of these people, they think it's absurd that someone who is working a job that does not require specialized training or college education or a degree is oftentimes making more than people who have earned these accreditations and things like that. Now, I'm kind of mixed feelings on that. Like, on one hand, like, do you think that she should be earning it? Maybe you don't think she should earn it, but she is, and that's America. People wanted to give her their money. That's what they wanted to do. I can't be mad about it, you know, but people were mad about it. Captain Obvious says, I'm gonna stop tipping. Liked by 2,300 people. but also clearly had some discourse with 126 replies. Is it good money? Absolutely, but from what I hear, it's exhausting and there are little to no benefits. That's another thing that people need to realize is like, yeah, those numbers look good, but keep in mind she's probably not getting medical or dental insurance. There's probably no 401k, no retirement. She's probably often on call, just like at their beck and call. And yeah, it's freaking exhausting. Like when I worked at Bob Evans, I would get pancake syrup in my armpits. In my armpits, you guys. How, you may ask? The syrup spills onto the tray, and then I slide the tray under my armpit so I can carry more things in passing. And then the pancake syrup, it goes into my armpits. Like, honestly, I've worked so many jobs. Being a waitress was probably one of the most exhausting jobs I've ever worked in my life. There were so many days I left crying. Like you then have to like pay for your own health insurance and things like that, or you don't, or you just don't pay for it. It is definitely super exhausting. Yes. Should they just be paid a living wage instead of a tipping system? Yes. Will not tipping resolve the tipping catastrophe we have in America? No. Why are people's instant reaction to this? I'm not tipping anymore. Like if we see another human being making money, we are instantly like, nah, can't have that. Like God forbid our fellow middle/lower class humans make some money. What a weird outlook to have. Pay your cooks more. Good question. Good. I mean, that's a good question. First of all, she's not the one paying the cooks. She has very little control over how much the cooks are making, in fact. She also has very little control over what the tip out percentage is. And I don't think that it would be right for her to tip out more of her earnings to the cooks beyond what she needs to. And it also brings up a good restaurant-related question. What is the most important part of the entire service? The food or the service? Like, what is the majority part that you're paying for? Someone else is cooking, or not having to clean up, not having to do it yourself, all of those extra things, like people going and refilling your drink for you. It's probably a little bit of both, probably half and half. But again, yeah, it's not her job to pay out the cooks. Everyone in the comments acting like all servers make the same amount. Yeah, she's clearly working at a pretty, like, probably high-profile restaurant that's getting a lot of bodies. She's probably figured out how to take several tables at once. But a lot of these, like, mom-and-pop restaurants, like, no, you're definitely not making $55 an hour. The most polarized job ever. I made so many friends, great money, and had the time of my life. I could never go back, though. I guess the last thing I'll say on this particular video is that, oh, she also, this is another crazy fact. I don't know if you read the caption here. She wrote that she walked 40 miles that day. That's insane. 40 miles? Yeah, she earned it, dude. I'm sorry. She earned it. That's crazy work. 40 miles? Yeah, she earned it at this point. But yeah, okay, the last thing I'll say now on this is if you want the perfect, like, to this day has aged gracefully depiction of what server life is like, the movie Waiting with Ryan Reynolds nailed it. Got it down to an exact science. The tropes, the stereotypes, barely satire. Like, up there with Idiocracy as far as, like, things that are not even satire, Batman. Oh, you guys are actually calling her out on lying? Oh my god, that's so funny. Hold on. Should I lay down the gauntlet? What's her name on here? Brenna? Okay, wait. Brennica? Oh, Brenna Catherine. I was like, now what in the tragic day is this white girl name? Brenna Catherine. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. I'm commenting. This was from like 2 months ago, but pics of the smartwatch data or it didn't happen. I will favorite this comment and let you guys know if she ever responds. Okay, good. I thought for a while I was like, oh wait, no, TikTok got rid of the add to favorites feature, but that was only for like a day. Idiocracy was satire when it was made. It wasn't supposed to be prophecy. I know, somehow I always knew, like, as each year passed from the release date of that movie, I kept thinking about it and I was like, oh no, this is actually happening. Oh dear. Construction guys should start wearing step monitors. I mean, I love smartwatches. I'm a very metrics motivated person. So, like, my Apple Watch, which, by the way, shout out to my Series 3 Apple Watch that I got in 2019 for $30 that everyone said shouldn't work anymore. Like, literally, Apple employees said that Series 3 are just defunct, they can't software update, and they're gonna all die, and you can't use them. Nah, bitches, we are still going 6 years with this sucker, okay? You do not have to always update to the latest and greatest technology. We are still, ran my first half marathon with this thing. I've probably run like over 1,000 miles with this watch at this point. Anyway, yeah, I like it. I like tracking everything from my heart rate to my steps to my workouts. I like winning the little digital medals. It keeps me going. Keeps the people going. All right. I probably have to change out my camera battery. But what else do I want to do for you guys today? This one, okay. Let's see. I want to hear what you guys have to say about this one. We'll do one last video, and then we're gonna wrap it up. But if you need more Dadvocate for the week, YouTube and Patreon members already have the unlisted link to tomorrow's ad-free members-only live stream, where we will have so much more fun. It will be a lot more intimate. You will not have to rely on super chats to get my attention, because there's usually only like 20 of you there, like a good couple dozen. So it's really easy to see everybody's messages, get to know you guys, react to stuff that no one else gets to see. It's a lot of fun. So that's going to be tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join in on that, that's what we're going to have going on tomorrow. I'm going to be also releasing some other videos throughout the week. So members and Patreon members will get early access to those first as well. Just some additional plugging. But for now, for our final video of the day, one area of tradition, of conservatism, that seems to have us all in a chokehold and seems to have not really progressed, no matter how many movements we've made with feminism and women being girl bosses and not needing no man, and we're just flipping everything on its head and destroying the glass ceiling, is marriage. Particularly a classic proposal. This is one area where the most traditional conservatives and the most liberal of feminists are like, yeah, there's only one way we should be doing this, which is man gets on his knee and proposes with a ring to the woman. And anything else, F you, you're a disgusting disgrace. You literally are pathetic, weak, stand up. What the hell are you doing? have you guys noticed this? I mean, especially when it comes to women proposing to men, which, spoiler alert, is not even going to be what we're going to be covering today. But I mean, I have never seen women turn on other women faster than when a woman dares propose to a man. Oh my God, they're like, child, stand up. What are you doing? This is embarrassing for you. Like, it's as women, we can do anything that a man can do better, except that, but not that. Oh, under no circumstances. Okay, so we've seen these realms. I have covered what dares happen when a woman proposes. I have covered the woman who attempts to call her Muslim boyfriend's mom to see if she can propose, and the ultimate crash out that happened after that. But I want to see if people end up having that same reaction if a man proposes but doesn't do the full traditional conservative thing of getting down on one knee. Let us see what the liberal, progressive, evolved women think about this. Don't worry, that one guy, I didn't miss your super chat. Don't forget to like the stream and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, like it. Give it a like. But all right, let's get right into it, gang. Lady turns down her man's marriage proposal after he refused to kneel. Now, context clues, audio only, gang. She is wearing a cross necklace, so maybe she has absolutely no liberal progressive values, and she is strictly a conservative. Oh, I forgot to change the camera battery. All right. Quick pause. This should only take a second. Oh man, I am starting to feel the half marathon and leg day I did over the last couple days now. Okay. I've also been sitting crisscross applesauce this entire time. These piggies stretch. All right. All right, audio only crew. She's being led in by several family members. Okay. And it seems like everybody's a part of this. She walks in and there are balloons with the message, "Will you marry me?" It's all set up beautifully. Hopefully I actually don't get license issues for this. I might have to pause more often, but regardless. It says, "I heart you" in rose petals. And now they both go to sit down. All right. So he also seems to be wearing like a traditional, I want to say African garb. If it's like more specific to like Kenyan or something, please correct me. I don't know. But like the whole family is in on it, right? So like clearly multiple people approve of how this is going down. And they both sit down next to each other, which, okay, I will admit this is odd. It's definitely a more unique proposal to like having it all spelled out and all that stuff, not strange. But then leading her to like like it's a doctor's appointment, like two armchairs where they sit side by side. Maybe this leads to like another ceremony or tradition that I'm not aware of, but let's keep it going. Okay, yes, there is some kind of a tradition. They bring out some kind of like bread. It looks like some kind of like horseshoe imprint on it. Interesting. Oh, maybe there's like letters on the plate or something. I think also like a traditional thing. Uh-oh, okay. So this is where we run into some conflict. So she stays seating, but he stands up and then offers her the ring. So now he has the higher ground, Anakin. He has the height advantage. And I think like the whole reason that a man takes a knee is his initial submission himself to his wife, where she then agrees to equally submit to him. Correct me if you have a different interpretation of what the getting down on one knee is supposed to represent. But yes, this is a little bit of a different standing, sitting situation. He asks, so will you marry me? And she's now hesitating to the point that her family members are like, yes, here's the part where you're supposed to say yes. It's very hard to hear what they're saying. I couldn't exactly tell you what they're saying, but this is clearly where she begins to argue with him, like, you're not getting down on your knees. You're supposed to get down on your knees. And, like, maybe what she should have done to kind of help, like, force her point almost would be to, like, also stand. Maybe. But he could have still gotten down on a knee and been at eye level with her. That would be fine. People pose on their knees while someone's sitting all the time. I'll admit this. I don't know why he's arguing with her. Like, if I'm in the middle of a proposal, I've done all this already, and I go, will you marry me? And she goes, you're not on your knee. I'd probably go, and then do it. I mean, yeah, it's probably hard to kneel in this particular garb. As you can see, it like practically goes down to his knees, but just like gently lift it. I don't know what his argument is exactly. The most I've been able to make out is him saying, I don't have to. I mean, yeah, I guess you don't have to, but like you're already here. Why are you arguing now?
To kneel down. I don't have to kneel down. I have to go on your knees. Why are you raising your voice? This is just a proposal. Everything about you. I'm not going in it. Why did you just go down on your knees like what I meant to do?
Oh, there's no coming back at this point. There's the time to salvage this proposal has ended. The subscription for this proposal, having any chance of making it, has expired, I fear. I mean, we're not even done with it yet. Like I said, I'm not sure why he didn't want to just get down on his knees. I can understand a bit of indignation of like, really? Like, I did all this, everybody's here, and you're gonna nitpick now? But it's also like, not a nitpick. It's that's usually part of the proposal, right? Like, her asking why he's not doing it isn't like the most ridiculous question a person can ask. It's not as though what she was asking was like, oh, you didn't also have a horse? It's not as though she was like, you couldn't have afforded a chocolate fountain. Like, she's asking why you're not kneeling. Like, she's just asking, right? I don't know why he fought it, but she also fully lost it, and now it's over. Like, I think him being like, oh, I mean, I don't have to. Like, come on now. Like, can we just... I don't know. I think him arguing... Probably shouldn't have argued, bro. But her screaming secured that this is done. And like, never mind. I'm gonna finish the video before I get into my next thought. I'm gonna hold it for now.
Why are you shouting? You're embarrassing me. Why in public?
I love the camera people still making sure, though, that they get, like, the full angle and they get it all, almost like the way the screen used to circle when they started advancing the Pokemon fight battles.
Don't tell me that. Why will you tell me to kneel down? They come back here. No, what's wrong with you? Come here. What's wrong?
Ooh. I think they're cooked, chat. I know I said, like, literally just earlier in the stream, and I say often that I am not the just dump him or just dump her type. I'm usually more of an advocate for really trying to work on your relationship issues, unless it's something, like, completely unsalvageable, like hands were laid. I don't think there's much coming back from literal DV. But in this case, another thing that I also believe is that there's not much coming back from a rejected marriage proposal. I don't look at many things very black and white, and this one, I'm still not going to commit to a complete black and white view on it. There are certainly exceptions, right? I know that there are some people who it took a couple of proposals for them to say yes, and they've been married their entire lives. But for the most part, if someone says no to a marriage proposal, I really don't see how your relationship is going to last after that. Because, I mean, unless it was like, oh, I'm just saying no to marriage because I don't believe in marriage, but if you're okay with being together forever without it, then, like, we can do that. Some people have those beliefs, and it's up to you on whether you want to stay with that. But if the end goal was marriage, as you've both discussed, but by the time you get there, assuming it's been a reasonable enough amount of time, not just within like 3 weeks, and they say no, I don't know. I'm also not fully black on white on when you know, you know. But it's also kind of like, I do agree that when you don't know, you don't know. That's for sure. And you shouldn't say yes if you don't know. So in that case, something made you stop and go, I can't spend my life with this person. And as much as I agree that he definitely, I don't know why he couldn't have just kneeled. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's a reasonable expectation. I've got to imagine that there is something else besides the kneeling. And if it's not something necessarily with him, something that he's done, some kind of pattern of behavior she's experienced with him, then it's something that she might be experiencing with her in herself. And what it could be is a common behavior that I see where some people handle being told they're wrong or admitting that they might be overreacting so poorly that the only way they know how to handle it is to just double and triple down and to just completely crash out and just blow the whole situation up. Like, they get overly committed to being right that they will not accept that they're wrong. And in this situation, I think that she got so socialized to believing that this has to be a vital element of the proposal or else the entire marriage is doomed, that she might have thrown away what could have potentially been like an incredible marriage, because he seemed to want to chase after her, but how long does that last? I mean, is he really going to want to, like, do all of this over again? Like, there are some things that you just can't really make up for, you know? Like, you can argue all day, it was him who ruined the proposal, it was her who ruined the proposal, but the fact of the matter is that that proposal is ruined. Like, undeniably, irrefutable. It doesn't even need to enter the court of Dadvocate opinion, because it's just undeniable. That proposal is cooked. And now she's going to have to move forward in this relationship, asking herself if she even has the pride, which press X to doubt with what I've seen, to handle any attempt at a second proposal. And he's going to have to decide if, as a man, he even wants to try that again. You know, like, some things, they just can't quite be done over. And certain things, if messed up badly enough, are simply just going to haunt the rest of the relationship forever. And something like this, I don't know, as a man, if I went that far out of my way to set something like that up and it was a hard no, I personally would not be eager to try that again. That would really haunt me for a long time. Now, again, I'm not gonna let this one go. Hopefully I wouldn't be so stubborn as to just refuse to do, like, a basic little gesture as a treat. I really don't know why he got so hung up on that. But for her part as well, I mean, we could have handled that in a different way. We could have still moved along with it, right? What do you guys think? I'm dying to know your opinion on this. Do you think that she was in the right? That it was just a baseline, simple thing to get on his knee, and that by refusing to do so, this was about way more than just the knee. This was about refusing to submit properly as a husband. This was about being too stubborn to concede in any way, even for something that's appropriate. This was about arguing with her. And this sets up a very despicable pattern that she was right to refuse to want to engage in. Do you think that she was the one predominantly in the wrong here? That after all he had done, especially with the uniqueness of their traditions that don't necessarily play into the same Western traditions that she may have started to be introduced to, that he really did nothing wrong. And I don't know a lot about, any kind of African proposal traditions, but if the kneeling element really isn't a part of their culture, you can't blame him and she's the one totally at fault. Or are you a bit in the middle, as I am, where you think that he definitely started making things problematic by arguing about kneeling? There was no reason to do that, but she also completely blew up the whole proposal by essentially having a melty-D temper tantrum over it. I am curious. I definitely want to know where you guys ultimately fell on this one. And furthermore, if you are interested in answering in the chat, do you think that the kneeling tradition is a good one? Do you think that even if you don't necessarily think it's good, that guys should kind of expect to just do it at this point, and that any guys who are arguing about having to do it probably aren't ready for marriage anyway? Do you think that the kneeling tradition is completely stupid, bogus, you're never gonna do it? Or are you also somewhere in the middle where it's fine if people want to do it, it's fine if people don't want to do it, but you should probably make sure that you're aligned on that with your partner before you either do or don't? What do you guys think? I'm curious. Indifferent, fair. A lot of you guys are like, do what you want. Would she submit as a wife? Hard to say. Maybe she would if he would simply get down on that damn knee. Lady tried to carry out her Daenerys fantasy. That's probably another brochure most women have flipped through. It's either like, man, do I want to ruin my life by doing sex work? To also, do I want to just completely enter my villain arc and go literally, like, fully nuclear? We all toy around with the villain arc consideration. That one guy, thank you for the super chat, says, I feel like they both have a problem with pride. It does cometh before the fall, they say. So it comes in summertime? Sorry, that was bad. She was looking for an excuse to say no. See, I don't necessarily think so. I think that she looks like a traditional woman. She has the cross on and everything, so she probably was genuinely disappointed. I don't think she was necessarily looking for it, but I do think that the reaction was quite strong. Lacey said, my husband proposed while we were slow dancing in the kitchen. The kneeling is fine, but know your partner, and also it's not a huge inconvenience to kneel for a few seconds. Yeah, I agree. With how he went in on the presentation, I think there should have been some leeway on the kneel. Yeah, he's like, my legs are tired. I just finished setting up all these god dang balloons. If you're traditional, you should be traditional. If being surprised that things aren't exactly traditional is stupid. Fair. Doom for Zombies says, woo, caught up in the end. And I don't see anything wrong because her demanding him to kneel shows she wants more control than is healthy. Interesting opinions. Interesting takes. I kind of want to read what the Instagram comments ended up saying. I don't have to kneel. It's just a proposal. They're quoting him. This woman knows her worth. 131,000 likes. So people liked that one. He made her sit so he can stand above her. Okay. So people think that the height discrepancy was on purpose. They think that they wanted her to sit down so he could tower above her and essentially show his dominance just from the jump. They see this as him purchasing her. Okay. He said it's just a proposal. Yeah, run, sis. I will say that line definitely did not do him any favors. There is no, it's just a proposal. You guys know how much that shit means to us. She's right. It's an ego thing. See how he reacted? Yelled and tried to grab her. She made the correct decision. His mask slipped. Also, almost 130,000 likes. The sitting her down for him to stand up and have her look up at him is a no. Everyone pressuring her too? I don't know, man. Sometimes the grandiose gestures coupled with all the eyes make me wonder. That's an interesting theory that people have speculated on for a very long time now as well, is there's this theory that when people do public proposals, they're doing it so that you have less of a chance of saying no out of like pressure and potential embarrassment. And I don't know about that, man. That it depends entirely on the person. If they have a long habit of doing things like that, of like trying to pressure you, then maybe. But I wouldn't put that on for every situation. I would think that they were just trying to get more people to record it. Massive extravagant gesture, multiple cameras out, not asking her anything, just going to put the ring on, having his friends and himself chant, say yes. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, first of all, so now proposing with a massive extravagant gesture in front of loved ones is a bad thing? Women, can you choose a lane? I'm sorry, but like, as a woman, what the like, pick one. Pick one. No, you don't get to say that either men are lazy if they just propose to you in a house without any grand gestures, but also men who do extravagant gestures in front of other people are self-serving narcissists. Like, literally, this is what men mean when they say we can't win. This is literally what they're talking about. Because no, that's crazy. Now, next, addressing the part of this comment where they're like, he just started putting the ring on. To be fair, before she realized that he was starting to put the ring on without kneeling, all of her body language and all of her, like, expressions were pointing toward her saying yes. It was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Oh my God. Like, that's not something you would usually say when you're, like, about to say no. So it was all leaning toward her saying yes. So, like, I don't know, him, like, putting the ring on her, like, doesn't seem like that crazy to me. Again, he did some other things wrong. We can all agree, but, like, it's not like he had his friends chant say yes. He didn't prepare for that. It's not like he told them, like, and if she starts looking like she's gonna say no, make sure you tell her to say yes. Like, come on, dude, that's like a crazy assumption. Yeah, it looks cute at first, but this whole thing is just showing off. It's not actually about asking the love of your life to marry you. It's just a big show so you look good. That was one of the worst proposals I've seen. And then men propose on one knee as a gesture of honor, devotion, and humility, a tradition that originated in medieval times when knights would kneel before royalty or noblewomen to show respect, loyalty, and servitude. This act symbolized placing the person being proposed to on a higher status and became a romantic expression of deep commitment, particularly as marriage evolved from a business arrangement to one based on love and mutual devotion. The kneeling part is important. That whole setup cost him $50. So, is he cheap or is he extravagant? Which one? I can't figure it out. One last thing I'll look up before we close in on this. African proposal traditions. Let's see. Okay, so it looks like traditional African proposals involve paying the bride price, which I have heard of a lot. Actually, these are not typically a private one-on-one event with a kneeling man, but rather a family-to-family negotiation often led by spokespeople. So if she would have stuck around, like, she might have just missed the negotiations. Like, this specifically states that in African traditions, which, like, I think we all heard their voice, that's not a Western accent, like, that was an African accent, there is no kneeling. Let me check again. Do African men kneel for proposals? No! African men do not traditionally kneel for proposals, as this is a Western custom that is not part of African culture. See, this makes a lot more sense. This is like what I was saying earlier, is like, yeah, as a Western woman, his argument and his refusal to do it seems strange. It seems inappropriate. For many, it might even seem unhinged and manipulative. But when you look at this from an African perspective, he was probably insulted that she wanted him to defer to Western tradition instead of their own. He might have been like, lady, what the fuck? Why would you rather me get down on one knee instead of shower you in cash like we were just about to do? Like, are you that, like, fixated on what these white people are doing that you forgot that you're about to make a lot of money? That might have been what was going through his head for all we know. That's interesting, you know? Very fascinating. And I'm assuming that most of these people in these comment sections are probably not super familiar with African culture. I mean, this was posted by a page called What's Up TV News, which does seem to be Black-centric, Afro-centric, some might say. It does seem like a lot of their posts are for the African community, but, like, that's just African American. There are plenty of African American people who do not follow African traditions. Her clearly looking like one of them. But the extra additional cultural context is worth noting for this, so as not to craft a full judgment. So I guess this is another one that I wasn't expecting to add to the does this creator deserve the hate or was it a valid crash out game? But listen, these defendants have entered the Dadvocate's courtroom, and I need y'all as a jury to, what's the word again? I just said it earlier. The jury needs to deliberate. Let's deliberate. Do you think that he is the bad guy? Do you think that she is the bad guy? Or do you think that the audience is the problem? I vote audience. Executive gavel. She's bad, says Justin SG. I do think it's pretty nuanced. I think this is a little bit more complicated. I fear that we just need more context, and I fear that the audience, the comment section, should probably just do a better job of being curious instead of judgmental. As Ted Lasso would say, Typrarian says, are we the baddies? I get that reference. SVR makes a good point. In response to Lacey, says, in the grand scheme of things, no partner will make the decision of staying together for at least 20 years and raising kids dependent on a gesture of submission. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I mean, you would have to, like, have made a vow and a promise that you, like, said over and over again, like, I would never say yes to a man who didn't kneel. Like, if you told that to this man over and over again and he still didn't, then you know what? He deserves the L. Connor says it's not our business. No, this is our proposal now, Connor. This is our proposal. All right. That brings us to the end of today's live. I'm going to keep us open for about 5 more minutes so I can keep an eye on the chat box for any last and final questions, concerns. Make sure you keep sending content submissions to lauren@dadvocate.net. That is the best way to reach me. Make sure that if you have a membership, you're at tomorrow's live. And make sure you liked the stream. It is our proposal with our African boyfriend. Perhaps our African ex-boyfriend, I fear. She enjoyed it until he didn't kneel, which isn't normal for him to have done. Yeah, man, I really think that we kind of pulled the man out from behind the curtain on this one. I think a lot of people have made a snap judgment on this when they just don't understand the cultural implications. Cat tax? I can go try and find a cat. I can go try and find another cat. Good vibes. Yeah, Phil, I definitely... Oh, that wasn't you who sent the Furby thong. Phil said, check my fresh meme on the Discord, boss. And I'm definitely staring at... Or are you I'm Old Greg now? Is that like your new handle or something? I have not been on the Discord in days, apparently. Was it the Furby thong? Is that what you needed me to see, Phil? Is that how Phil needs attention today? That we needed to send a Furby thong? Can we have Prince Unicorn? Actually, yes. Yes, we can. He has been very out. Not enough TJ crash outs today. Maybe tomorrow. I think he might have tomorrow off, but maybe not. Okay, let me go grab Prince Unicorn. He had been brewmating for a while, but now he's out. And I just gave him a fresh shower yesterday, so he's looking very handsome. I'll go grab us a lizard. has a lizard. Wow, Prince, we really complement each other very well today, I must say. He is looking extra orange, extra anaranjado today. Oh, no. I must insist you focus on the lizard, actually. He's just chilling. You can see his blues coming in. He is very Charizard coated. The prince. He is such a good guy. Such a chill lizard. I feel like I am a very good bearded dragon owner too. I learned so much about how to take care of these guys. Got the right substrate. Make sure he does not get overfed. Not too chonky. Good coloration. Are you sure he's not a chameleon? He's evolved. Very matching the shirt. What a guy. He's so cute to draw. I'm obsessed. Yeah, if you join our Discord as either a Patreon or YouTube member, you will get access to Lacey's incredible Prince Unicorn artworks. An excellent mother of dragons. Yeah, speaking of the Khaleesi arc, huh? The people love you, Prince. He's like, I do not want to move. I simply want to chill. But all right, that's probably enough of us today. Like I said, live again tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep an eye out in the community tab or the Patreon for early access if you are a member. Keep an eye out with your notifications if you are not for publicly released videos. Dang, Prince, your claws are actually very sharp on my clavicle right now. Okay, on that note, I will see you guys soon. Bye!